We know that European Union has adopted the European Union's 10-year strategy, Europe 2020, in 2010. Main goals are smarter, more sustainable, and more inclusive growth. And Europe has defined 5 main targets. These targets relate to growth of employment, to growth of investment in research and development, to meeting societal challenges like climate change and energy sustainability, but also to increase the quality of education and to increase the inclusion and participation by reducing and fighting poverty and social exclusion. So down to European Economic and Social Committee and Committee of the Regions, which are actually involved in increasing participation, on the one hand from national social partners and civil society, and on the other hand exactly from local and regional authorities, which implies the smart cities. Committee of the Regions, which is mostly involved with local authorities, has also developed Europe 2020 monitoring platform, which provides input and information for the local authorities on how well Europe is faring in the implementation of Europe 2020, and also handbook for local and regional authorities how to take part in the implementation and delivery of European 2020 strategy. And of course, there are funding institutions that provide new financial instruments for implementation. One stakeholder that we seem to forget very often in the region and somehow bypass is actually civil society. What we lack often is inclusion of businesses, trade unions, non-governmental organizations, and individual citizens in policymaking. Civil society is involved in the implementation of Europe 2020 strategy through European Economic and Social Committee. We are talking today about creative cities, about creative industry, and these are Digital Agenda for Europe, Innovation Union, and Youth on the Move. Now, Youth on the Move program goes through 4 areas: study, learn, train, and work. And here, European Union provides several programs for funding projects and activities. Erasmus and Erasmus Mundus for exchange of students, teachers, and staff. Youth in the Action for youth initiatives. Train for Leonardo da Vinci, Erasmus, Comenius for training, for vocational training, and work through microfinance facility for startups, youth startups, Erasmus for young entrepreneurs, and Marie Curie actions for research fellowship and for introducing young researchers into the area. So we are talking about youth initiatives, startups, R&D, and its connection to the growth. When we look at it, fast and ultra-fast internet, ICTs are becoming communal infrastructure. This is where the cities have the role. They have to provide it to their businesses and the citizens. But also, ICTs can help increase participation, inclusion, if we use them right. So e-participation, e-inclusion, e-government are very important areas. What's going on in Southeast Europe? Well, Southeast Europe has been carrying on a political cooperation process through Southeast European Cooperation Process, but its administrative implementation arm is the Regional Cooperation Council, which represents the region in international negotiations, assists the process, monitors, provides leadership and regional perspective in donor assistance, also with EU IPA program. And it supports also involvement of civil society in regional activities. Ministerial conference of the Southeast Europe Investment Committee in Tirana last November ministers gave mandate to the Southeast Europe Investment Committee to start creating a new strategy for Southeast Europe 2020. They have defined 5 pillars: integrated growth, smart growth, sustainable growth, inclusive growth, and also with a good governance framework. What does it mean for competitiveness in the region? If we compare network readiness and competitiveness indices in the region, we see that there is a very strong growth. But you also see that there are some apparent outliers. How come that Croatia, with quite large network readiness index does not make it possible to create the competitiveness that is associated with such level of network readiness in other countries. When we compare e-government readiness and competitiveness, why doesn't Croatia have the same level of competitiveness as other countries with the same e-government level? When we look at research output, why do other countries with a similar research output have higher competitiveness than Croatia? There is something missing here. What would be the implications for the smart cities? EU provides a wide range of funding instruments supporting innovation and creative growth. And actually, we have heard today from the mayor, and we have heard yesterday from the deputy mayor, that the city of Zagreb is involved in many projects. But we have to recognize that businesses and citizens provide huge creative capacity, able to draw from these resources. And we should not look only at how municipalities, how authorities draw projects. We should look at the capacity of the citizens and businesses to draw money from European funds. In order to be able to do that, we need from the politics to align national and local strategic documents with EU and regional priorities as a prerequisite for drawing and using the funds.